In search of peace and happiness, the human mind wouldn't rest. A constant knock within we soul, demanding respect from the world. We get the urge in different form, but luxury is the norm. Money is very essential, but can't buy peace of mind at all. We still like dog without a bone, if we have the money alone. Appreciation is on the human mind. Everyone needs some for happiness all the time. Because important, if we are trying to live, everyone's on the hunt, every man ought to give. Race and class doesn't matter. Once you are alive, you win the game. You do anything to get a good name. Some wealthy men turn to suicide. Can't find food to feed their pride. The aged and crippled in the ring fight to feel like a king. Children become delinquent for lack of love from their parents. That's why appreciation is most important to man. On the human mind, everyone needs some for happiness all the time. Because important, if we are trying to live, everyone's on the hunt, every man ought to give.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to Calypso Showcase. And the tune Appreciation by the Calypsonian Johnny King gives you the clue as to tonight's guest. Johnny, welcome to Calypso Showcase.
Thank you very much, Alvin. Thank you very much.
Johnny is the short for what?
Johnson.
Johnson King. We hardly ever hear you being called Johnson King.
Yeah.
But welcome, Johnson King.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we all know you as a policeman, and perhaps you can tell us where are you stationed?
Yes, I'm at Arima. I'm at Arima this time.
Arima. And how many years have you been in the police service now?
Yeah, January will be 22 years.
Oh, 22 years. Congratulations. Good service.
Yeah.
But I remember you being in the mounted branch at some time.
Yes, I started this in Calypso at the mounted branch. So when I'm here, Johnny King, as a Calypsonian, you think about mounted branch. I spent over 9 years there at the mounted branch.
But you know, somehow, being a policeman and trying to get into the Calypso world seemed to have caused you a bit of a problem in the 80s. I remember there was a lot of controversy about whether you should be allowed to sing Calypso when you had your job as a policeman. You want to talk a little bit about that?
I think the real problem was, the issue was about failing to apply for permission rather than not wanting me to sing. You know,
I see.
I think the commissioner, the deputy commissioner in charge of administration at that time, what he said was that I did not apply for permission, and the regulation required that you apply for permission to do things for remuneration other than a job. You must get permission.
Well, you did apply.
Yeah.
No problems after that.
And I got all clear in what you call a news flash.
Yes,
that was
and
nice.
it's amazing the number of policemen that are singing calypsos. Now, in fact, we recently had a police calypso competition, which in fact we will be showing on Calypso Showcase next week. So it's good to see the policemen getting involved in this art form. Around that time, too, I think that Rocky McCullin played a big part in your career.
The night I got the notice, at the tent. The night I got the notice that I should not go on stage, Rocky went to cabinet, you know, to try to secure permission for me. You know, he was busy, I guess, all night, all day the next day until I got through.
I think he was almost like your mentor, because I remember him always being at your side. I remember a picture in the papers with two of you all dressed up in, you know, coattails.
Yeah. Yeah, what happened, Rocky? The first time he saw me was in 1982 at the police Calypso competition. I was a competitor in that competition. And he fell in love with Trini Stop Your Run and my style, my pulse, as I like to put it. And since then, you know, he said he is my second father. You know, and he really followed me and supported me and fought for me right through until he died.
Well, that's very good. Well, as usual on Calypso Showcase, what we want to do is look at the Calypso career of the particular individual, and in this case, Johnson King or Johnny King tonight. So after we take a commercial break, we're going to take a trip up to Valencia, where Johnny King resides, and we'll talk about his Calypso career there. We want to talk specifically about your Calypso career. What was your first contact with Calypso?
Well, from a baby, you know, I always liked Calypso. You know, I was back there in Tobago and the TVs and so on. But I remember Carnival Sunday night. I used to look forward. I can't remember if he had a radio, but I used to get to a radio to hear Sparrow sing like Kennedy's Man for Them and them kind of things.
As your first sort of exposure, and when did you first start singing Calypso?
Okay. I started in 1981. I released my first record in 1981, something called Ash Wednesday Carnival.
Yeah, I remember that very well, and you had a nice tune on the other side too.
Yeah, Where Is the Love?
Where Is the Love?
Yeah, but at that time when I did that song, I didn't even think I could sing good enough for people to accept. But I did the record, and they did accept it because it cost me 17,000 something to put the record together. Well, obviously I got that money from all around, from my friends, from Carl, from Dennis, from Tante Monica, from Hamlet, from Pudi. He didn't know me, and he was so fascinated by the type of rhythm that he sent me $1,500, and by Carnival I made back more than 3/4 of the money.
Did you perform and attend that year?
No. I performed at PSA. That was my first public performance at PSA. And that was with the police band. I also did 1 or 2 things in the square with the police band. Yeah.
Can you remind us what those 2 tunes sounded like?
Yeah, you talk about the 2 first tunes.
Where's the Love and Ash Wednesday?
Yeah, well, Where's the Love is a groove in the vein of Latest Plan. And Ash Wednesday Carnival is bacchanal, you know? A bacchanal is something that sort of explaining that I enjoyed that carnival so much that on Ash Wednesday morning I got up and still getting a carnival vibes. And I start playing all over again.
And you know, sing 2 lines maybe of each tune.
Yeah, I can't quite remember, you know? I can't quite remember the flow, you know, with it. I have to play the record and go it over.
All right, well, I know that although your recording career started in 1981, going into 1982 Carnival, your first contact, real solid contact with the public, in fact, the first time that I got to know there was a Johnny King was in 1984 with Nature's Plan and the starting off at the CDC tent in those days. Tell me how did it happen that you launched into 1984?
Well, I actually got my first taste of the stage, the real thing as you talk about, in 1983 at CDC. Then CDC, yes. But, I wasn't known yet, I didn't make that kind of breakthrough, but I was getting like 4 encores. Singing Hellfire.
Oh yes, I remember that tune, Hellfire. Yeah, Hellfire. Very, very lively and up-tempo. Yeah. You should remember.
I sing righteousness, so very hard to find. Take a look in man's eyes, only hellfire. Man bad for years, selfishness all the time. Living is greed and lies, only hellfire. That's the chorus.
Yeah, I remember that. Very lively. And
the same kind of Johnny King bounce.
Yeah.
I was in it,
Recognize that you have that because we listen. Recognize it from the time the music starts. But let's go into 1984, your first, let's say, impactful year for you. And the 2 tunes, Nature's Plan and Foul Play. Let's talk first about Nature's Plan.
Well, what actually inspired me to put that one together, I was living at Simeon Road, just behind Sparrows Hideaway, and I was looking at a documentary, and this guy is a wildlife man, and he was actually showing how lions live peacefully and loving when there is a lot of food. But the minute the food gets scarce, the strongest survive. Yeah.
And that gave you the idea?
Yeah, to do Nature's Plan.
A week, but I'm holding on in order to stay around in a life terribly imbalanced. For it is nature's way until judgment day. Weakness ain't got a chance. Playing strong cause I realize the price little one must pay to keep the big one in paradise. It's torment and misery all day. Destruction of the weak is nature's plan. The humble and the weak must understand. This day of the strong man is the devil's day. They will bite the ground when the master play. As long as you have the cash and all your strings attached, you're on earth but living in heaven. There's nothing for the poor or as evermore. Life in a lion's den. Hungry man shall aspire to keep the high man on top. Destruction of the weak is nature's plan. Humble and the weak must understand. This day of the strong man is the devil's day. They will bite the ground when the master play.
Yes, Foul Play. Well, a lot of people thought that song was real, in the sense that it had happened to me. But it's a story I made up, I took this girl to a party and she had a boyfriend waiting inside for her. As we got inside, I paid for one thing. She spent a few minutes with me. She drink a beer or two, she goes, she come back. Whenever she want to drink beer, she come back. I give her beers while I was waiting to take her home. But not before long, a gentleman came inside with 2 kids. Those are her kids, 2 little kids, looking for, you know, and then I ended the love man, that's the man inside, he ended up having to run. I was out of the picture. I was an observer at the time. You understand? That's the story of the song.
She wants to fed, I took her to party. Done drunk and tight and high up already. Me and sexy Gloria wailing in the yard. A love man start to roll and she like the mad. Didn't know she's slippery, wasn't sure at all, but she looking happy. I start to fall, but he's catching she hand. She hug up the man, gone in a corner, and roll like she's sweet on the mister. Rolling on the right, rolling on the left side, rolling on the front, rolling on the back side. I said fall. Like the Asian fella, and only using me as a sponsor. Every time she want to drink, she check me out. With heavy love and plenty lies in she mouth. I playing for something, I running the beers. Once she finish drinking, she disappear. Was it scratching she hand? She hug up the man, gone in a corner, and roll. Like she sweet on the mister, rolling on the right, rolling on the left side, rolling on the front, rolling on the back side. I said fall, I said fall.
A little bit about reaching the finals and what it did for you.
Well, that is the highest point of Calypso in Trinidad and Tobago, the Carnival Sunday night, you know, and to really have everybody, but to me, a good percentage of the people in this country, whether Christian or what, they sit down on a Sunday night and look forward to the Calypso Monarch competition. So once, even though you are the 10th and you're doing good, people reading about you on Carnival Sunday night, everybody sees you. And the people also have something in their mind that, feel something in their mind that, okay, this man has reached the top. You know, so it was...
How did you deal with the stage on that night? Because there's a fear about the big savannah and reaching there for the very first time.
Well, you know, I thought the people were behind me. The people were behind me, and I thought I had to try my best and don't let them down. Obviously, the butterflies will come, but, you know, I made up my mind and I wasn't thinking about winning, you know, because I never liked the competition aspect of the thing. Although that apparently is the only real forum for becoming popular or becoming accepted. But I don't like the idea because I feel that's one of the things that holding the art form down, because Calypsonians pull at one another and they may not be prepared to help one another because they want to be on top. They want to be better than, Johnny King wants to be better than Gypsy, or better than somebody else. You know, when I believe there's a place for everybody. There's a place for the humor, there's a place for the political commentary, there's a place for the parties, and what have you, there's a place. Yeah.
The following year, how did you follow a great year like 1984?
Well, you know, there was a challenge. There was a challenge after came through so nicely in 1984. In 85, well, it was harder to put together because I know the people look forward to me. I can remember we had a sort of, what you call it, the Express put together a celebration for us to honor Penguin. He was the monarch, and myself, and Scrunter as well. I wonder if Scrunter did turn out. However, while there, Bill Chotman was there, and he turned to me and told me, Johnny King, you know what you do, boy? You put your foot, you dip your foot in the sand. And I like these kind of challenges because I always want to prove something. Yeah, that's why you see I'm going to bounce back in this thing because I know that I'm capable of pleasing the people. And, you know, and even though I'm going through a little rough time, it's not really rough, but nature taking its course. Next year, you know, so I'm going to be working. That's what I'm saying, that anything you want to achieve, you got to just stick with it. Yeah, so...
Appreciation. Let's talk about appreciation.
Yeah, well, that's my best song.
That's the song you like the best?
Yeah, that's the song I like the best. You know, I think it means more to life. I think it means more for peace. It means more for happiness, appreciation.
Take a tip from the scripture. Appreciate one another. Share your love and make the most for total peace in the world.
Appreciation is on the human mind.
Everyone needs some for happiness all the time. Because important if we are trying to live. Everyone's on the hunt. Every man ought to give. Appreciation is on the human mind. Everyone needs some for happiness all the time. Because important if we are trying to live. Everyone's on the hunt. Every man ought to give. Appreciation is on the human mind. Everyone needs some for happiness all the time. Because important if we are trying to live. Everyone's on the hunt. Every man ought to give. Appreciation is on the human mind. Everyone needs for happiness all the time.
The tune that you matched appreciation with, I Want It, is a tune that almost every time you go to a party, some DJ or some live band must include that in their repertoire.
Yes, and even
what it is about I Want It that lasts so long. Make it up, so nice.
Well, Alvin, I don't want to boast now, but if you should really look at the structure of my songs, the pulse of the songs, the lyrical, the lyrical content, well, that is
and the way the hooks are placed.
Right. My songs always sound good. As a lot of my fans tell me, look, I hear when I song today sounding fresh. They always sound fresh, and it's not the normal just some music and any old words. I always try to maintain a storyline, even though it's a party song. And I want it all the time. It's just great, it's something we have no control over. I did the thing and people just feel that, look, they should just have it all the time.
Came up from Africa to fill out the music over here and music exploration. She continued to South Island, but she was on hand to play she a jam at a duty. She took over Piaco and she ballet. Oh, you want it all the time. I want it all the time. I want it all the time. I want it. My brother. My brother.
Now in 1986, after a fantastic start in 84 and 85, things didn't seem to go quite as good with the two tunes, Try and Pan Maneuvers, that first effort at a pan tune, as far as we knew. What happened in 1986?
Well, I can't say it didn't go that good because, that was my third successive year in the Calypsonian finals. I mean, against odds. I was in the finals.
I know that you were, but somehow
it wasn't as strong as before.
It wasn't as strong as before, and you were getting some adverse reports. Johnny King is just coming with a formula. Now, one sort of an abstract type song and one party tune. He's not diversifying himself. And although you had made it for the third time, there were some people who were saying, because it's Johnny, he reached the finals. I'm just reflecting the mood of the day.
But the song was lyrically strong. Maybe one of the strongest lyrical content they had in that year.
Trying.
The melody, you know, I always make nice melodies, right? I think what happened, the record in itself was not of the best, the final quality.
Right. So
and I always had you know, something about the bass lines as per record that never really touched me. And if it didn't touch you, it had to touch the people. What I had to do though to get that song on, because I spent like 2 weeks or so in the tent with people just sitting down and looking at me, you know, they can't feel it. And I went down to the band rooms, I got Coombs to rewrite the bass I had in mind initially, you know, for the song. And then the things start going after that.
Yeah. Life ain't easy, life ain't no bed of roses. It's so hard to succeed, so contrary to the press and the stages, to get the things that we need. All these conflicts and obstacles come to stay. Man must stand it, can never run away. Time to stop the cry. Try a little try to achieve it the only way. That's why I said, even though you're falling, come get you something. You gotta try and do what you're doing until you see the light. Don't let it out your sight. You got to try. Dumbo dumbo doo. Dumbo dumbo doo. Dumbo dumbo doo. Dumbo dumbo doo.
Panman Overs, that your first effort at a pan tune.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it?
Well, yeah, it was good. You know, people, they structured the melody was nice. Da, 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 da. And Lestan put a kind of rhythm, you know. It was laid back too as well, but it was nice.
And it's so exciting, it's educating, it's money making a wonder. And it is dedication with some vibration for every nation as contact. This beautiful musical song within the oil drum was founded in Trinidad. Yes, the panman's grunting, they ain't getting nothing. Living nice in Germany, hustling in TNT. Pan people hate panman, but sweet on the jam. Pan making the bread for sure. So we are playing no free pan anymore, panman sweat. Promoters pocket fat. More respect for panman. Panman overstep.
I actually did Panman Overs that while with the police steel band. You know, sometimes we used to go down there to practice and the men going all over the place and I found out a little melody on the pan. Tung, 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 tung. Man used to kick off at me, laugh at me and think, you know. Yeah.
Well, I saw some of the adverse comments that you got in 86 affecting your 1987 year, because I thought you came very strong in 87. I thought the Illusion
was nice. No, but I think I like to be very objective myself in my criticisms. No, Illusions was nice, but I think the mistake I made, I don't like to blame people for my downfall. Right. I feel if you really get to the blood of the people, they're going to have to accept you, whether they like you or not.
Right.
You understand? I thought, you know, I was saying Satan man whining, Savior man grinding, meaning that Satan man having a good time, while people who try to live a righteous life suffering.
Satan man whining, Savior man grinding, pulling and tugging, iniquity on the upswing. The way man must function, don't let it fool you. Think there is only illusion. If they see In your hunt for material, if you get there, you can enjoy it at all. Satan man whining, Savior man grinding, pulling and tugging. Iniquity on the upswing, good over evil. It's the way man must function. Don't let it fool you. If there is only illusion.
What's strange about 1988, not strange but significant, is the fact that beside helping Tambo with this party is that you came up with a tune like Wet Me Down and Warmongers in the same year. And let's talk about those two tunes. Let's talk about Warmongers, because here I think in terms of lyrical content, you'd really seem to have put a lot of effort into putting together something that you had observed in the world.
Yeah, well, I wrote that song over a 2-year period. I wrote it over a 2-year period. And I always look at world scenes, you know, always look at what's happening around the world, especially politically and things, because it have to concern us, because we depend on these people for most things.
Powers are locked in a battle, fighting for control, creating a whole lot of trouble in this world. They keep talking and pretending how they care about world peace. Yet the making of nuclear weapons won't cease. All their concern is to prove who is really super. While they confirm confrontation and war. That's why I say superpowers are warmongers, wiping out life by degrees, trying to prove who's stronger, spreading a deadly disease. So all this peace talk and bomb talk is old talk and skylark. While they're talking, people dying, human rights on the run. People starving, still these mongers spending money on bombs.
Every time I think about semi-finals and I think about Skinner Park, it's one event will stand out in my mind is Wet Me Down. And I want you to describe for me what went through your mind from your vantage point on stage, singing and seeing what was happening in front of you.
I was scared. Believe me, because I saw blocks of ice, big blocks of ice going up in the air, food, what have you, everything going up in the air. People, even the media, had to be running to and fro, running for cover.
Wet me down on the all night. Let me feel right. When the tongue on fire. The rhythm you jamming must make me perspire all day. Let me break away. When it's time for fun. When it's time to free my body, carnival is in the air. No sing me no sad song. Just let us make me guilty for messages I don't care. What we drink is fat, whiskey and beer. I be aware, in order to stay on top and maintain your head. Give it more energy, go into Dingo Lagos. Damn you some Johnny, down the body, feed it up funny. Wet me down today all night, let me feel right. When the tongue on fire, the rhythm you must make me perspire all day. Let me break away when it's time for fun.
When you do something and people go in a frenzy about your creation, you know, you can't get better than that. You can't get better than that.
When you were left out of the finals, what emotion went through you?
Well, you wouldn't believe, I got it through the grapevine before it became official. We were coming from South, and my brother after me, my little brother, he started to make preparations for the finals. We coming down, and we were on Rice Road. The Spectacular had a show at the stadium, so I was going down to the show, and he started to say what I should do on Sunday night, in particular with Warmongers, because that didn't get to the people yet, you know. And I tell him, I say, boy, I say, so if you hear I didn't get into this competition, you want me to kill myself or what? You know, because I never really put myself right out on the line, so especially when dealing with people. You know, people have personal feelings, you know, and you have 5 judges, and maybe 3 of them maybe anti-Johnny King. You know, they gave an explanation for it, you know, that they couldn't hear me. But I see people going Calypso Monarch without singing. You know, so I didn't understand that problem. But I didn't take it too hard, because you have to take life in strides, and you have to be prepared all the while for the good and the bad, you know, for the up and the down. Right. You know, we have to come through that regardless to what. You know, in one of my songs, some wealthy men turn to suicide, can't find food to feed their pride. You know, you have to be prepared in this life to meet with all eventualities and to come over winning. So I didn't make it affect me. It affected me somehow, because I felt if they selected one person from that show, it should have been me. Mm-hmm. To go and battle with the Monarch, it should have been me, because Warmongers was by no means a weak political song, maybe the best for that year, and Wet Me Down had gone clear. You know?
To a lot of people looking at Johnny King, they would just assume or come to the conclusion that Johnny King died after 1988 or something like that. How would you explain what happened after 1988?
Well, I don't feel that would be a true statement, because I've been performing around the place, small gigs, mind you, on a tour in North America. I did thing after I went to London after 1988, you know, and I've been doing things, and since during that low period, I had songs like "You Are the Greatest." Many gets pretty good airplay right now. Miss that, I want to tell you something. Lend me an ear, hear what I'm saying. That one playing a lot now, you know, but it came out late. And I know there is a time factor to deal with if you are to be successful here too. So I really don't want to blame anybody for what was happening. But I was inside there. You know, I did soccer party.
When you look back at your career, what stands out most?
Well, so many different things. Okay, I could start from Nature's Plan. Nature's Plan, the banning, although it was adverse, it stood out in the sense that the next day, all the front line, the papers was about our problem, you know. And then when we got into the actual season, there was another time when the NCC, well CDC, now NCC, clashed with Spectacular, you know. And apparently they used to center everything around me. They called me the Little David, you know, something like that.
Spectacular.
Yeah, and all that kind of thing. But one night in particular, I don't know if it was the first show. I can't remember if it was the first show or the second show. I saw people crying, and when I did Nature's Plan, people were crying.
Structure